now Mr. Beast has talked about how he's kind of interested in becoming president. I already knew that 4 years ago. My story with Jimmy, Mr. Breast, okay? And I actually do have a story with Mr. Breast, alright? However, it's not exactly probably what you would maybe expect. Some of you might have thought that I was joking by the title. Some of you might have thought that I'm ready to rip into the motherfucker. That's not really what I got for you. Now, there's a few versions. There's a few versions, okay? Me and Jimmy, we go way back, alright? There's stories from our childhood that I can say, and there's some I cannot, alright? But the one that I'll say today, okay, in the air of, you know, being, I guess, wholesome, maybe, is the story of me and Jimmy talking about his philanthropic adventures, okay? I will tell you guys my story with Mr. Beast, all right? Now, Jimmy and I, we go way back, as I was saying, back to the old Call of Duty days, all right? We've been friends for a long time. Now, the story I'm going to tell you about Mr. Beast, I have a few, and some I don't feel comfortable divulging. But the one that I do is, there was a circumstance that occurred about 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, where effectively I actually got to talk to Jimmy about his philanthropic adventures, okay? Now, I'll give the full fucking context. Basically, after my drama, I guess you could say, whatever, with H3H3, okay, after I released my kind of final response, you know, because, you know, H3H3 reacted to my Video Vigilante video on his podcast, okay, that got like 2 fucking plus million views or something. I made a video responding to that, my response to Ethan Klein, I think is what it was called, yeah. And the context of that was, you know, it came at a time basically where Keemstar was undergoing a nuclear barrage, okay? Ethan Klein sent 3 nukes in Keemstar's direction, okay? Content nuke Keemstar. And so Keemstar was under siege, basically, and as a last-ditch effort, more or less to kind of reverse Uno card the you know, all this spectacle. Keemstar basically, you know, uploaded my original Video Vigilante that got removed. He uploaded a censored version to his Drama Alert YouTube channel, okay? And, you know, basically, long story short, what ends up happening, it kind of goes well, in a way. It's fucked up because it's like the video got removed off of Keemstar's channel. Keemstar received a fucking channel strike and got demonetized. Like, it was kind of fucked up for, you know, Keemstar. It was a bit of blowback, okay? But the, you know, attention was successfully diverted away from Keemstar and toward H3H3 because everyone was thinking that he was, you know, censoring my video and all this, right? And so he responds, and the response, you know, was a full, like, 3-hour-ish podcast. And then I respond with a video, my response to Ethan Klein, okay? Now, after doing this and successfully kind of parrying fucking Ethan Klein at the time, all right, Keemstar takes notice, I guess. He's like, fucking kid, man. This fucking kid. He got me a channel strike. He fucking got me demonetized on YouTube. But I respect the tenacity on this motherfucker. And that was an interesting, you know, thing for me to basically have told to me. It was effectively something along the lines of like, I think made a slight shot at Keemstar within the fucking video, and Keemstar like acknowledged. He was like, oh, he was like, he was like, I saw that, you know what I mean? But he was like, good job either way, whatever. Anyway, the weird thing that occurred was that I got added into a very low-key group chat, okay? I got added into this strange group chat on like Twitter or something. Yeah, Twitter. That housed many, many fucking extremely disgustingly famous, popular YouTubers, whatever. Okay. This was like, I don't know, just a meeting of the minds or whatever, right? And it was funny to me, right? Because I get added to this group chat with these people who have literally tens of millions of followers, okay? And I am a plebeian. I'm a I'm a tiny boy, okay? And what I mean by that is that every single fucking person that was in that group chat was a millionaire. Like multi in a lot of cases, all right? This is not that uncommon, okay, among YouTubers, all right? I'm now used to this dichotomy, okay? It's fascinating to me. But it's like, yeah, bro, I'm a fucking brokey, okay? And I'm regularly just talking to people who are worth fucking millions of dollars, right? And I mean, there's like mutual respect and all that, but it's like I'm aware of the fucking difference, right? To me it's fascinating. But this was the first time, okay? This event around 5 years ago where it's like, holy shit. I don't belong here, dude. Anyway, Keemstar added me there for whatever reason, I guess maybe to network or something like that. I don't really know. I was a fucking bad networker. There's a lot I could say about how fumbled opportunities and all this, etc., etc. I've learned the hard way, okay? A lot in my life. And so, I don't view anything as regretful. It's just like, okay, I would do things differently now, right? One of the people in this group chat was my good friend, childhood friend, Jimmy Beast, okay? And in this group chat, he was actually, surprisingly, very active, all right? He actually did communicate. And so on many occasions, I actually communicated with my good friend, Jimmy Breast, all right? Turns out, in this group chat, okay, the guy's primary like interest, concern, seemingly hobby, right? It was mainly there's like three components to it, okay? What he talked about in that group chat was typically gambling. Definitely he actually was like addicted or very interested in gambling. Politics, but not really necessarily like actual, political news. He was just always seemingly interested in like, oh man, look at how fucking shitty this is run, dude. Are you telling? I remember specifically there's one conversation where he seemed like genuinely confused as fuck as to how America doesn't have healthcare, right? And so, as the resident Canadian of the group chat, literally I think the only Canadian in the group chat, I was like, yeah, I mean, Canada, we don't exactly have a fucking a utopia out here, okay? We haven't exactly cured this whole thing. But I was basically like, kind of saying like, yeah, I mean, obviously the reason that America doesn't have fucking healthcare is largely because of the incentive structure, it's whatever, fucking, um, God. The idea, it's so funny in hindsight. It's like, Mr. Breast probably has like he probably didn't know who the fuck I was. Okay? Even though we were childhood friends, it's like that, that doesn't mean that much, right? In the grand scheme. And so it's funny to think that he probably thought I was some authority when really I was also fucking whatever, but a random plebeian is what I was. But he actually did seem fucking very genuinely like in the lane of like, dude, it's just fucked up. Like I feel like okay, here's the big thing, right? He seemed to think that it was an incompetency thing, right? Like, damn, bro, this government's incompetent or like whatever the fuck. Like, this is just crazy that this is a thing, right? That we don't have healthcare and it's fucking 2020-ish, right? Yeah. I would imagine that nowadays Mr. Breast probably understands the game was rigged from the start. You know what I mean? Like there's literally just too much money in private healthcare, right? And obviously, like the politicians, you know, they have their own little incentive structures, and it's not to actually do what's best for the people. Because what do we know out here? Government. What is the primary role of government as they exist today? They are the managers of class relationships, okay? They basically manage the relationship between the brokies, all right, the lower classes, and the elite, the upper classes, whatever, all right, on behalf of the elite. Does that make sense? Meaning that the government, historically, and certainly today, they are fucking working to serve the elite, but they also have to manage the lower classes. What does this mean? It means basically that the government is, number one, working for the elite, okay? The people who actually have, you know, relative power within the fucking, you know, country or world or whatever. That is their primary, you know, point of interest. That is their master. Those are their masters, whatever, the business owners nowadays. But sometimes competent governments, okay, will step in on behalf of the elite and give concessions to the lower classes in order to prevent, you know, civil unrest, uprisings, revolution, all this shit, right? Historically, you know, people, especially in America, presidents understood, like, okay, you need to please the lower classes enough that they're not pissed enough to fucking revolt. But nowadays, that is, like, pretty much completely fucking lost because there's no class awareness at all among the lower classes, really. So nowadays, it's basically just corporatocracy or whatever you would fucking say. And so, like, I'm in this fucking group chat, and I'm fucking mansplaining with my cock and balls out to Jimmy Breast, all this bullshit. And I have Keemstar breathing down my neck, basically like being, you know, like a pretty much like a typical dad, you know? Like that's kind of what Keemstar is to me. It's like he's just a fucking typical dad, you know? He's like very much on all those like the right-wing talking points that are just like every fucking father believes, and it's like Trump is cool and shit like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't think that I actually really penetrated Jimmy's brain, but there was one instance, there was one thing, okay? I mentioned there was gambling he was interested in. There was politics he was kind of interested in. Like, this is the big thing. Like, now Mr. Beast has talked about how he's kind of interested in becoming president. I already fucking knew that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, okay? That's not surprising to me. The third thing, okay, that we kind of connected on was philanthropy, all right? Mr. Beast was actually, at that time, again, about 4 or 5 years ago, at that time, Mr. Beast was very clearly fixated on philanthropy, okay? Now, I'm not fucking stupid, dude. I'm a pleb, I'm a dummy, but I ain't stupid, you know what I'm saying? And so obviously, even back then, I perceived Mr. Beast's very overt, you know, leaning into, you know, philanthropy as almost a shield from criticism. I viewed that with a skeptical eye, all right? And I always thought it was a little bit cynical, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, yes, you give money to homeless, you give money to all these people who need it, but it's like you do that on the fucking camera, right? You know, like you're doing that and you're absolutely profiting, right? But at this time, there was something that Mr. Beast was talking about very regularly that intrigued me quite a bit. I will not cap. And it was a new channel that he started, all right? Because at this time, the guy was starting a lot of new channels. He was branching out a little bit. And this channel seemed so odd to me, bro. It seems so illogical, completely. Like, I didn't get it. But it was called Mr. Beast Philanthropy, all right? And so now,
6 months
if you want to see, like, I guess, a shortcut of this story, you'll see that Mr. Beast Philanthropy has 26 million fucking subscribers, okay? 26 million subscribers. And you'll see that each video they do gets literally like 20, 30 million views. It's crazy. It's unbelievable, to be honest with you. But at this time, all right, to filter back. Only about 2 videos, 1 or 2 videos were uploaded to this Mr. Beast Philanthropy channel. All right. Let me just see real quick. Is this the one? They may have... did they delete some of them? I have no idea. They may have deleted some of them, but all I know is that I was actually in contact with Mr. Beast, unironically, when he started this fucking channel, okay? And he was very excited about it, he was talking about it. And yeah, I mean, in my head, I was just like, this is fucking not gonna work, dude. Like, okay, yes, you can do the philanthropy when it's, like, convenient, and then when it's a part of a big video and it's all exciting. But bro, like, do you really think that on YouTube, a philanthropy exclusive channel will actually like be self-sustaining, right? That was his whole thing. He wanted to make a philanthropy focused channel that actually managed to like make enough money to maintain itself, okay? And so whether or not this channel actually does maintain itself, which I do think it does. I do. I was fascinated by the effort, okay? Anyway, and so I watched the videos that he was making at that time on the philanthropy channel, and it was fucking crazy. Like, the guy was paying, sorry, not paying, he was feeding, like, an entire town's worth of people, you know, in need or whatever, right? It was like, I forget the numbers, but it was an impressive amount of people. And so I remember I literally went to the group chat and I asked him, I was like, dude, how much does it cost you to feed that whole town, like, for that week, right? He was basically, the whole thing was giving, it was a food pantry, giving packages of food to families that could last them like about a week, okay? And so, yeah, he said, fuck, I forget the exact numbers, but he basically said to feed that, you know, city, or that event that he did, whatever, it was like 100K to basically feed all these people, you know, for a week or whatever. Obviously, the food wasn't fucking extravagant, but in my head, dude, I was expecting it to be way, way, way more expensive. And so instantly I was like, holy fuck, dude, that's actually not bad. 100K? 100 fucking K? And me basically getting a little bit surprised by that, I actually, it kind of did make me realize like how feasible it actually could be for him to have just a philanthropy focused channel. Because look, to feed a city, 100K to feed like a city's worth, you know, a full day's worth of like giving people food or whatever. That's not that much fucking money when you really think about it, right? For a guy like Mr. Breast, obviously. And the biggest thing that I registered was he actually seemed not just excited, not just fucking, you know, driven to see it happen. He seemed like confident that he could make it like a really, you know, a big thing, whatever, like that it would be something that, you know, people could actually regularly fucking receive food from it. And so what does all this mean, right? In my head, okay, my interpretation of Mr. Beast, who I do have criticisms of, let's be clear, right? Of course, I have criticisms of Mr. Beast. There's a lot that I would probably change in an ideal world and all this. But it made me realize, like, okay, this guy is not just cynically doing the philanthropy shit. In my head, okay? In my head. Because it did seem like he was taking a large amount of time out of his schedule to run this channel, this philanthropy channel, that was of no real, like, you know, overt fucking benefit, I would imagine. Of course, now you can say that, oh, it's a PR fucking whatever, now that it's worked, you can say that. But talking to him, right, in this room basically full of literal millionaires, and people, it, like, keep in mind, Keemstar fucking is like the king of this chat, bro, so it's like, you don't need to be the most ethical motherfucker, right? Like, you can be honest with it, your intentions and all this. And he just sincerely seemed focused on actually improving the lives of fucking Americans. Like, I'm not even, I know it sounds like glazing, bro, but that's what struck me. I was like, dude, are you serious? And he was serious, right? And I remember, yeah, I basically just messaged back. I was like, bro, that's fucking crazy, honestly, that you are able to feed that city for 100K. And I really hope that that project works out. And as you can see, he liked that, by the way. He was like, actually like, damn bro, thank you. Which is, you know, makes sense that he would be like, oh yes, okay, you're saying good job. Of course that's like, you know, gonna make him happy, I guess. But I was a nobody, right? Like maybe he didn't know that, but I was fucking nobody, bro. So it was interesting that I actually got spoken to like a human. But yeah, the end of the day, this channel just fucking took off, and I'm pretty confident in saying that they did remove some videos. I don't know why. Like this channel's been around, I think, longer than this, but I might be losing my mind.
What is up?
Let's see.
Gamers, I just opened my very own charity and I just wanted to tell you guys about it. We adopted every dog at a dog shelter, bought everything in 5 stores and then gave it away, donated $1 million worth of food to people in need.
Yeah, this is, so I'm correct. Okay, yeah. So yeah, they removed, for whatever reason, they removed a lot of the like original videos that were on this channel. But yeah, I don't know, let's see.
Gave a homeless person a house, raised $20 million, planted 20 million trees. In general, I enjoy doing good things. Which is why I started my very own charity, and 100% of the revenue from this channel will go towards funding it. Let me show you around.
This is my food pantry. We have over 50,000 pounds of food here in this warehouse, and we're doing weekly deliveries to communities in need. Chris, those are for people in need. Well, not this one. This one. One's for me.
And you're probably wondering, how does this work? You guys remember Darren from this video and this video?
We've set this up to be able to feed millions of people a year. This food pantry is at least 10 times bigger than any other food pantry I've ever seen.
I love it, and all of it wouldn't be possible without him. He's the one running the day-to-day operations. I love how he didn't look happy at all. He's just like...
I still get nervous sometimes.
Dead serious, 100% of all the ad revenue, brand deals, and merch sales from this channel, Beast Philanthropy, will go into this food pantry. Every view on this channel is literally putting food in people's mouths, like this.
Is that Sharpie?
Yeah.
Helping people's fun.
Rest in peace.
First major event Beast Philanthropy did was back during last Thanksgiving. We caught wind that a local community had some people that were in need, and
Yeah, I think this is the event. That I was aware of, or made aware of. And so, yes, okay, again, you can take a very cynical fucking angle. It's like, okay, Mr. Beast isn't probably doing, and he just said he's not doing the fucking daily operations of it, whatever. But, I mean, yeah, look, I don't imagine it's easy. Hey, I might be wrong. I don't imagine it's fucking easy to not only set up, I guess, the logistics, to set up with people you trust, all this shit, but also to actually make a fucking charity effort profitable. I don't think it's easy, right? And so, yeah, I mean, if there's anything that I could, I guess, and this is kind of something that I remember trying to communicate or whatever, but if there's anything I could really drill into, obviously, Mr. Beast's head, like, he knows, obviously, that the healthcare system in America is fucking busted, right? Because he made the video where he cures people of blindness, okay? He knows. But he chooses basically to stay more or less apolitical, in the sense of not, you know, campaigning for any particular issue. He doesn't interject necessarily his politics into the fucking videos he makes, right? Where he's curing blindness. He doesn't really even say, you know, well, this is fucked. I mean, it's implied, obviously, but, you know, he has remained relatively apolitical. But at the end of the day, in my mind, he does seem like a guy who, whether he, you know, comes off as a fucking sociopath, non-caring freak, he does seem like one of those guys that does actually, at the very least, have the intention of making, you know, average people's lives better or whatever. Now, let's be clear. The number one priority is still absolutely making fucking money and gathering larger influence, all right? That is, you know, the prime directive of Mr. Beast. But it would be nice, I mean, we'll see, look. here's the thing, right? A lot of people have been whispering in my good old pal Jimmy Beast's ear over the years. And so, how nice of a guy is our boy? That can change. That can change entirely depending on who's whispering in his fucking ear, right? But the one thing that I would also point out, right, is that this motherfucker, okay, greedy as he is, you know, faking some videos as he is, which, by the way, the faking videos thing, like, in my opinion, whatever, that was always obvious. Like, with the Mac guy, too, like, there's some videos people have pointed out, it's like, the Mac guy works for Mr. Beast, and it's like, dude, I've been knowing that shit forever. Like, when they started doing the scripted videos, I was like, okay, yeah, clearly, like, this is a scripted video. Like, I didn't feel like they were trying to hide it, really. But I get when people are pissed off. It's just because he, like, I think he claims the videos are real or whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, all the weird little ego strangenesses, all this shit aside, this was a guy who, unlike with most billionaires, right? You correct me if I'm wrong, okay? With most billionaire types, or fucking whatever you would say, like entrepreneur who became dumb, successful, or popular, or whatever, they start doing the philanthropy, they start donating and helping people, whatever, once they're already at the top, right? They're vicious fucking pieces of shit, and then they're at the top and they're like, I'm a good boy, and I'm gonna invest in all these little projects and all these little philanthropic adventures to basically sugarcoat the fact that they fucking viciously climbed to the top, right? And to, you know, PR, and to, of course, get some tax write-offs, of course, right? And that's a big part of it. That is a big part of it, right? Charity work. Guess what? Charity work can be a real fucking win-win-win, baby. You get that little juicy tax write-off, you get the fucking PR, and you get the connections, too. You know, charities, oftentimes for the very rich, charities are like a very valid way to fucking network with other super rich people. You go to the fucking little charity events, you see the people who are donating 12 million a fucking year. You get to schmooze, right? But in the case of Mr. Beast, the thing that I would point out as being kind of, I guess the word would be unique to him in a way, it's that this motherfucker, he had this, you know, philanthropic lean to him from the get-go, okay? And what do I mean by that? I mean that, I believe the lore of Mr. Beast, right, is that the first time he got a sponsorship, a proper, you know, decent-sized sponsorship, I believe it was like $1,000, might have been $10,000, whatever. His entire idea was basically the sponsor gives him the money and then he just gives it to a homeless dude, right? I believe that was the concept. What I'm basically getting at is that the philanthropic element, okay, again, yes, it was for views, right? But the idea of the philanthropy was there from the get-go, right? It wasn't just a convenient afterthought that became, you know, a fucking fleshed out idea once it became super fucking convenient. At the time that Mr. Beast took that sponsorship money and just gave it away, that was a novel fucking concept, okay? Of course, in the past, you had people like FouseyTube or whatever giving money, whatever. But, like, again, the idea for a broke kid like Jimmy Beast at that time, right? Like, it's true. At that time, he would have probably been broke. For him to just literally, like, to, you know, donating it, basically. It does speak to a guy who, at his core, seems to have an authentically, you know, selfless, or at the very least generous, you know, disposition. And not a perfect guy, okay? There's a lot of fucking things you can say, specifically around, you know, the materialism, obviously, right? Like, a big part of his fucking videos is flashy car that he doesn't give a fuck about. Like, Mr. Beast is one of these guys that, from what I can tell, he doesn't give a fuck about, you know, actual worldly possessions or whatever, right? He's very hyper-focused and fixated on number go up, you know, more or less. But of course, in his videos, he'll fucking show the flashy cars and whatever. Here's what I'll say. My good friend, Jimmy Beast, okay? He is one of the most naked symptoms of the YouTube algorithm. What does that mean? Yeah, okay, capitalism. Yeah. Right? Sure. But specifically, algorithmically, like, catered capitalism. You understand? What does that mean? It's simple. You get what I mean, man. It's as simple as he's just adapting to what will get him the most fucking views, right? So there's some practices that Jimmy Beast employs, and I get it. They're fucking scummy. But they're allowed. Do you hate the player or do you hate the game? You can hate the player. Let's be clear. You can hate the player. But yeah, when it comes to, giveaways, or when it comes to fucking the ADHD editing, okay? When it comes to the promoting kind of materialistic ideas to kids, when it comes to, I don't know. Basically, like I would say like the kind of predatory marketing techniques. Yeah, I mean, he's still on the platform, right? Like he's kind of just operating within the guidelines, if that makes sense. And so if his fixation, if his true honest fixation, which I think it is to be, the number one YouTuber, which he now is with over 300 million fucking subscribers, of course he's going to chase that high, man. Of course he's going to keep, pushing the fucking limit, the boundary, the whatever. And honest to God, at this point, you got to think about this, okay? I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong? Give me your opinion. Do you think I'm wrong? If Mr. Beast were to stop uploading YouTube videos, if YouTube were to demonetize Mr. Beast's channel, well, I think that YouTube HQ might have to lay off a drastic amount of their employees. You think I'm wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. But maybe. Gotta chase the dragon? Yeah, well, for sure. And again, here's the thing. The way I see it is that everyone contributes into the way some culture or tradition develops. Obviously not equally, but to some extent they do. Love my labor and value. Goka streams, yeah. Now they're just going to prop up other channels for once that have been suppressed. Interesting. Silly SpongeBob. Fair enough. Fair enough. I would love to think, okay? I would love to think that Mr. Beast, actually has that kind of relative power where, like, YouTube needs him or whatever. But maybe you're right. Maybe, the pessimistic angle that I've had before is that we are all completely replaceable. But is Mr. Beast replaceable? Yeah, kinda. Tough act to follow, but yeah, we can live without Mr. Beast's content. That's facts. We can live without his content. I do think YouTube needs him. If Mr. Beast fell off, it would be an age of abundance for indie creators. Do you really think so? Dude, did I really just get hiccups from drinking like a fucking little tiny piece of water? Just a little tiny little block of water, dude. And now I have hiccups. There would be a new Mr. Beast if his channel got deleted. It don't matter. He would be replaced by a lot of people at first. Google could prop them up till the next Mr. Beast shows up. Yeah. Anyway, and so to kind of wrap up this, it is a little bit of a ramble, okay? But to wrap it up, right? let me provide. I like to a certain extent. I like that Mr. Beast has a fuckload of criticism coming his way. Okay, there's some hysteria. All right, there is some criticism. There's some like cancel culture-esque shit going on. Right, where it's like, dude, of course, everybody wants to see the top doggy get fucking torn down, especially when he is as weird as Mr. Beast. The guy's a fucking weirdo. Let's not beat around the bush. Mr. Beast is an unrelatable weirdo, okay? Like, he's one of those fucking he's got that fucking Mark Zuckerberg like alien aspect to him. I get it, all right? But I've noticed that people, they don't think, okay, there's two things, right? People don't remember that, like, the guy is actually, believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe, he is a human, right? And a lot of the criticism, not all, but a lot of the criticism I've seen levied at Mr. Beast is probably more explainable as, like, growing pains of, like, a media corporation becoming a fucking monolith, you know what I mean? Like, actual genuine growing pains from trying to scale as fast as they fucking had to, right? Not all the criticism can be written off by that, okay? But the second thing, right, is that this motherfucker actually does unironically have potential to bring potentially positive change to the world, okay? And I'm not talking about what he's done so far, because what he's done so far is absolutely fucking insane for his age, and, you know, God bless Mr. Jimmy Beast, us playing fucking Call of Duty as kids. I can't believe how far you made it, man. But when this motherfucker, who is arguably as popular as Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you can think I'm insane for thinking that, but look at the numbers, bro. When this motherfucker, who's also young, right, is talking about wanting to become president, people need to keep in mind that we want this guy on our side. We don't want this guy hating the fucking masses, man. We don't want this guy, you know, falling into his little billionaire circles or whatever, his neo-lib fucking council or whatever, right? No, yeah, I mean, look, the biggest fucking L to me with this whole Mr. Beast situation is not that, like, there will be some damage to the Mr. Beast brand. Look me dead in the eye. The Mr. Beast brand will be completely fucking fine, all right? Completely fine. I genuinely believe at this point they are all arguably too big to fucking fail, okay? They have reached the critical mass. Like, your grandmother and your fucking 5-year-old nephew are watching Mr. Beast. Do you understand? This is not commentary. This is not like the opinion side of YouTube. This is the fucking lobotomized side of YouTube. You got me? And so, you know, what will come of this drama? It's like, okay, maybe, and the best outcome in my opinion, would be, yes, Mr. Beast tightens up a lot of his operations, right? He tightens up a lot of little loose ends, right? He shaves off a decent amount of the fucking mess, the clutter, the shit that's accrued within his team, right? I would agree. Like, Ava Chris Tyson gone is a good thing, in my opinion. It definitely makes complete sense. So that's one part of it. But the best thing, in my opinion, would be, you know, that Mr. Beast, in some weird, twisted, potential way, actually appreciates the fucking criticism, right? And it might get harder for him to appreciate the crit. I highly doubt that he appreciates the criticism, because most people don't, right? It's tough to accept and whatever. But I doubt that he would appreciate the criticism when it's framed as him being a fucking psychopath, sociopath, whatever you would say, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't know, right? Because what we're about to see is we're about to see Mr. Beast leave YouTube orbit. That's just what's going to happen. What do I mean by this? It's pretty simple. Mr. Beast is friends with so many YouTubers, of course, because he has, navigated a lot of these relationships, largely, of course, to promote his products and his events and his videos, right? But he's friendly for friends with a lot of YouTubers. And now that it's like uncool or cancelable to have worked with fucking Mr. Beast, all the people who are not, actually that friendly with him or friends with him or whatever you would say, they're basically like, denouncing Mr. Beast, or they're kind of parting ways with him, not working with his brands. And to a degree, obviously, I respect this. Like Ludwig, I know. Ludwig basically split off from being sponsored by Feastables, some shit like that. The point is, though, is that if I had to guess, Mr. Beast is thinking right now, fuck YouTubers. Fuck YouTubers. I'm going to start sticking to the people who will play ball, okay? And who's going to fucking play ball? It's mainstream celebrities, right? Like the motherfucker's getting Jay Leno. He's getting Tom Brady. He's getting Pete Davidson in his videos. And then YouTubers who are like pretty much also mainstream, like Kai Cenat, right? iShowSpeed, these guys, right? KSI, Logan Paul, like these guys are not, they're borderline not YouTubers anymore. And I get it, they are YouTubers, but they're not really. Like, I get it. They're YouTubers, but are they exactly? I don't know. Like they've transcended it, I think, right? And so what exactly, right? Like, this is probably the last time ever, in my head, Mr. Beast will give a single fucking ounce of shit what commentary YouTube has to say about his operations. Maybe I'm wrong, but this might be our one chance to have this fucker listen to us, okay? As fellow YouTubers. Because, yeah, I mean, depending on how his Amazon show goes, right? Yeah, as we've already seen, Mr. Beast, in the time that this whole kind of cancellation or drama has occurred, or whatever you would say, accusations, etc., in the time that all of this has occurred, Mr. Beast has uploaded a video that I'm sure they had planned to upload, and it got 120 million fucking views, right? So, as much fun as it is to envision the downfall of Mr. Beast, that's not the outcome, okay? That should be desired, in my opinion. The outcome that, in my opinion, should be desired would be to influence the motherfucker while we have his attention. And so, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What kind of influencing should we do to Mr. Beast? My good friend Jimmy. Mr. Beast is going to partner up with Kick now? No, I think Mr. Beast is planted firmly on YouTube at the moment, okay? He said he'd address the allegations after Dogpack posted his final part. Yeah, I get that. That's what I'm saying, though, right? Like, okay. I don't know. Even if he's found guilty on all accounts... Even if he's found guilty on all counts, kids will still watch him. If Mr. Beast gets shut down, then someone who doesn't actually care about philanthropy will fill his place. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, right? If we're gonna have any fucking weirdo guy whose entire fixation is on being the biggest YouTuber ever, if we're gonna have any guy like that, tell me if I'm wrong, he seems like a pretty good fucking draw, right? I mean, once again, Mr. Beast at this point, he could have a harem. He could be a fucking total Weinstein. And I get it, there's, you know, a bit of weirdness with Ava Chris Tyson, but look, I looked into it, and from what I can tell, that was like, Jimmy Beast was not aware of any of that, right? Like, there's a, like, if this guy's truly, if this guy's main vices are slightly manipulative marketing, right? And gambling, those are pretty fucking tame for being, you know, the number one YouTuber, whatever you would say, the highest potential fucking entertainer on earth, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. All I can say is that it could be worse. It could be a lot fucking worse. And so I view Mr. Beast as a high potential motherfucker, and not someone I would be too eager to alienate. But yeah, criticism is criticism, right? So we'll see. We'll see what goes down. I wonder what the age distribution of his fan base is. I think the more kids there are, the harder it will be for him to set roots down outside of YouTube. All right, Jimmy just needs to either go back to not making reality TV and start making videos for fun again, like he did in the Mr. Beast 6000 era, or retire. The most popular isn't exactly the best. Miles Craft, that's just not... Or sorry, my bad. Who said that? No, yeah, Miles Craft. That's just not going to happen. Yeah, that's facts. Miles Craft just said the most popular YouTuber is not the one who makes the best content. It's the one who caters to the algorithm the best. And that's exactly, I completely fucking agree with you, right? I completely agree with you. Like, yeah, Mr. Beast's videos are pretty vapid, or whatever you would say. There's so many criticisms that you could say. But that's the fucking game, dude. That's the fucking game. And think about the fact, for 1 second, think about the fact that the number one, you know, YouTube channel could very easily have been a Jake Paul, a Logan Paul type, right? Basically someone who actually really doesn't give a fuck, you know? Again, feel free to fucking criticize the guy, but yeah, let me put it like this. I'm skeptical of Mr. Breast. I wouldn't say I trust him, but I do have a little bit of faith, okay? And I do think, you know, he's worth believing in to a small extent, right? Time could corrupt, power could corrupt, right? But yeah, everyone is replaceable. Everyone is replaceable. We'll see. We'll see in the next decade if either you're right or wrong. Everyone is replaceable. Yeah, but not really. Like, it's hard there's people who are harder to replace. Let's put it like that, right? Remember, people that don't speak English don't really know or care. He's one of the few YouTubers not asleep at the wheel to cater to many languages. Yeah, dude, he's ubiquitous. The best thing to come out of this is that people have a more realistic view of the guy. I don't particularly care about him. I just didn't like the constant dick sucking from most every YouTuber. Yep. Well, that's the funny thing, right? Most every YouTuber was doing that, you know, autofellatio that you're describing when it was convenient. And then when it's not convenient, right? I mean, that's how the game works. I get it. Whatever. You know, you suck up to slurp up the clout, slurp up the money, whatever. And then when the pool's dried up, you go, I didn't suck that. I did not suck that cock. I did not. You know, that's just the way. That's the YouTuber way. It's really, when you think about it, it's the cloud game, right? But yeah, tough. Oh shit, autofellatio is when you suck your own dick. My bad. You could argue Mr. Beast does make the best content. Yeah, okay, look, I'll say this much. Mr. Beast's videos are entertaining. That's just true. That's just true. They're fucking refined. They are refined. I'm not gonna lie, dude. There was a Mr. Beast video. It was about like the most expensive cars in the world. It's like $1 car versus fucking 10 million or whatever car. The pacing, how fast paced all this shit is. I think one of the ones, what was it? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, vacations. $1 vacation versus like $1 million vacation. They had PewDiePie in the video at the end as a complete afterthought. Like, that video was so fucking fast paced. It covers so much ground. I'm not glazing his content because I do think it's not that deep, right? But it's still impressive. It truly is. If you ask kids who like Mr. Beast, who map at, as they would say, your point is irrelevant. I have no clue what the fuck you're saying. I got here like 30 seconds ago, and all I hear is, I do not suck my own dick. Yeah. Mr. Beast makes really good content, but most watched does not equal best video. Tons of YouTubers copy every style. Yeah. They're so cheesy and awful, but it doesn't matter at all. They just do the video right. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's a look, man. Were you a PewDiePie fan? Random viewer, were you a PewDiePie fan? Because when PewDiePie was at the peak, when he was the most subbed fucking channel, he was not making the best videos. He just was not. The cool thing with PewDiePie was that he was just a guy. Like, he was an organic human being, right? Like, small operation, whatever you would say. He gave his unironic opinion, it seemed like. You know, he was a guy. Mr. Beast is not just a guy. He's a fucking megacorp, okay? At this point, he has kind of transcended being just a fucking guy, right? Now, of course, he's still a human, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying the channel is not just a guy, right? But PewDiePie, dude, there's so much that he was worthy of criticism of, right? His editing was super mid. A lot of the time, some of his opinions were not that fucking thought through. But he was solid, okay? The whole point is that we could have had someone so much worse than PewDiePie as the number one. So much worse. Like, PewDiePie was fucking... Dude, we got lucky, in my opinion, right? Very, very lucky. Because that guy, he even vouched for, like, commentary community drama, right? Like, he was one of the rare few who actually, you know, vouched for Monkey Jones when he got banned, which is just wild. Yeah, I don't know. Does this mean Mr. Beast is the Walmart of YouTube? I would say yeah. Man, I keep trying to give Goka an opportunity to plug merch, and he keeps missing it. Well, thank you, Mr. Snow's Leaves. Guess what, guys? We have these brand new hats only available in the Goka merch store right now. Go to gokamerch.com and buy the fucking NPC hat, okay? Look at this. Wow, drip. We also have the Bad Faith hat, but these hats that we have in the store, they go fucking real nice with any outfit, bro. I'm telling you, this shit fits my head perfectly. They are dope hats. Now, the more exciting thing, in my opinion, are these delicious looking bots. You guys watch the Sneeko video? You see this? Look at this. We custom made. Look at me. I'm basically Mr. Beast, dude. Except I actually make cool stuff. We custom made these robots. I don't know why the light's shining so strangely, but boom, pow. Look at this. The poorly programmed NPCs are officially real. This is a sample, okay? The head is not filled with water, but the final version will be. We have the beautiful gold and the rustic gray right here. Boom, boom, pow, baby. And so the only way to get these fellas is to go to gokamerch.com right now, all right? Limited edition items. Mementos from the Sneeko video. You got to go to gokamerch.com and you got to sign up for that damn email list, my best friend. I'm going to pull some Mr. Beast tier scams just for you guys. Guess what, guys? If you buy one of these robots, you're invited to my. You might be invited to my hot tub. Anyway, go to gokamerch.com and just chill on the homepage. Okay, you can. Oh, what's this pop? Whoa! If you plug in your info here, you will be notified as soon as those bots are available. Limited fucking edition, all that stuff. You won't regret it. They're cool. They're fucking cool. I'm really proud, honest to God. I'm slow. I'm a slow motherfucker, but I do deliver. And I do try to deliver quality, I swear on all that I love. I don't have much going for me, okay? But I deliver that quality, okay? That's what gets me in those group chats with those fucking millionaires and those, 10 million subscriber motherfuckers, man. Somehow, some way, people think I have something worth saying because of the work I put out. So, OMG gross. Hot tub. Can you drink from it? Yeah, the big YouTubers are just corporations like T-Series and people trying to make reality TV content for some reason instead of making actually fun content. Yeah. My work here is done for tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Snows Leaves. Thank you for that. So, yeah. I'm down to talk a little bit more about Mr. Breast. All right. Thank you guys for coming out to the beautiful Gokanaru stream right now. Who's the second most weirdo in those Mr. Beast group chats? So Tahir Kamal wants the fucking tea, dude. He wants the juicy goss. You want me to answer that honestly? Ninja. Did you see the clip of Mr. Beast's manager talking him out of doing the Rice Gum and Logan Paul website? Yes, I did, yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, one of this guy's flaws is absolutely that he's like a gambling-headed fucking guy. But that was a sign, obviously, that he has like decent people around him, right? But a lot can change over the years.